So, I mean, this foot looks like it's totally bottomed out. I mean, you can see where the knife marks were. I mean, the bars are gone. The foot was, unfortunately, just, as I say, totally gutted out. Bars were cut. These are old knife marks. You know, the apex is just welded and glued, and just, it looks like it's just a close proximity to the ground-bearing surface of the sole here. But yet this foot is a mile long compared to this horse that, you know, was 14.3 at best, you know, 14.2 maybe. But we need to figure out where we can go with trying to alleviate the leverage and the stress on this whole leg, because he is not a happy camper. So I'm going to try to dislodge this frog a little bit, and just to see if it is in fact a false sole situation, and I can see that there is depth in there. So this foot is going to be a little trickier, because I'm going to really try to ask this frog to release in a way that it's going to take a little work to detach that. And unfortunately, when feet have been over trimmed time and time again, these feet just, it's like they just go into the state of shock, and they don't want to release it, because it's like, leave me alone, don't take it, and I'm going to just hang on to everything that I have, because I don't want to be over trimmed again. So we got to do a little more coaxing and try to figure out how we can go in getting this to release. So my first few knife swipes here, I'm going to just see what this material says, and I'm going to look for this chalky material to change into a more functional material, which is what I define as the false, or as a live sole, and thinking that there is a false sole situation going on. I'm gonna see if I can get something to happen here. So I'm gonna make my first run, and because there is so much toe here, I want to try to create a new plane in the foot that is also going to elevate the palmar angle, and without having a radiograph to verify that he's probably been at a negative palmar angle for some time. It's no wonder he was probably getting sore in his back, and no telling where he's been getting sore or still sore at. But see how this material is still just really chalky, and it's just like, man, it's dead. Chalky material is dead sole. It can be beneficial in being a buffer zone when, you know, you have a very shallow vertical depth, but I'm believing that there's that depth there. We can verify that he's not short, and I just want to see how hard. I mean, I'm just mashing pretty hard on that sole right there, so I know he has depth. Okay, so I'm just going to ask this very carefully. I'm not going to cut. I'm just going to ask that foot to release, and just prying that up so it totally released, because it's dead. All right, he doesn't need it, he doesn't want it, but yet, because he's probably been over trimmed so many times, that foot didn't really know what to do but hang on to it. And that's what sometimes creates these false sole situations, where the foot's just in freak out mode, and it's just doing all it can to protect itself. But yet, in doing so, it becomes so welded to the live sole area that it creates this elongated, you know, very extremely long hoof, and it can confuse some guys on where to go. But see underneath there, see how chalky and dead all this is? So I'm just going to try to just hit bottom, just to where I just barely start scraping, and he needs a break.